Here we are, first Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast for 2023. At the end of last month, I talked about how to reflect back on the year and see where the growth was, where the fun was, all of the progress. What do you want to take with you into 2023? And what do you want to leave behind? Those tools that I have are still in the shop and they're there for you to use. The New Year's workbook can help you do this, and the video interviews will help the kids get into it too. But maybe you're done with looking backward and you're ready to look forward to this new unconventional approach. Dare I say, we might make a plan. There are ways we can do this that don't look like school or aren't trying to sneak in subjects. As you keep learning more about unschooling, you'll see that those subjects, they're there always, weaving in and out as needed. They don't need you to focus on them. Focusing on the topics that the kids are curious about or where their interests lie, that's a big part of this approach. And no, you unschooling parents are not passively sitting around waiting for the kids to come rushing into the room with a new idea to explore. I mean, they will do that from time to time, but the passive parent part, no, far from it. I'll help you break that down here in the podcast too. We'll figure out how to make a plan, what to do, what not to do. So if this is the first time you've listened here, I'm Sue Patterson, and this is the Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast. I've been around a while. My kids are grown. I've seen what works and what doesn't, and I'm here to share all of that with you. I try to get to these weekly, these little unschooling pep talks, but I'm also answering questions on calls with parents, on social media, in courses I've created, and in my favorite group coaching program, Creating Confidence. You are welcome to any and all of it. You can find it at unschoolingmomtomom.com. But let's get back to planning. I want to share one of the things we do in my coaching group. We plan together 1 week at a time. We get together on Mondays and look at the various ways we can increase our confidence, our connection with the kids, and what activities are possible for this week, 1 week at a time. One of the problems with those big semester style planning is it doesn't allow for much flexibility. But week to week, you can do that. You can look at the weather. You can factor in appointments or library days. You can think about family rhythms. Did you just come off a busy weekend and need to recover? That's okay. Or could you schedule in some fun things happening in your community this week? Or even something like bowling or skating or a hike, something the kids are going to enjoy. And when you talk to the kids ahead of time about what this week's calendar looks like, they have an opportunity to have input. And doing this only once a week makes it easier to look back a week from today and see what worked and what didn't. That's good data to plan for next week, 1 week at a time. The other way I like to plan is to think seasonally. What are some things happening this month that you don't want to miss? Maybe it's time to brainstorm with the kids about some of these things. Restaurants to try, road trips to go on, movies to watch together. You can make a real life plan instead of an academic plan. And if you're looking for ideas, I have a brainstorming guide that can help you do this. 20 different possibilities to think about exploring. This will give you some insight into what interests your kids these days, because something they liked 6 months ago, they may not like now. Plus, different seasons tend to spur different activities. Sometimes it can be more of an active time, sometimes more hibernating. You have the flexibility to do what's going to work for you and your family right now. It's one of the cool things about being an unschooling family, having that time and flexibility to broaden the kids' worlds, to show them how many cool things are out there. I'll leave the link for that brainstorming guide because sometimes we get overwhelmed and we can't see the forest for the trees, right? We grew up having everything planned out for us. So we fall back to curriculum and familiarity. But you're so close to being able to create this totally individualized experience for yourself with your family. It's really empowering for the kids to see how they get to chart their own path with you, with siblings, with others who matter in their lives. It's okay to make some plans. It's okay to say to the kids, hey, let's try this out. I think you'll like it. Because as unschooling parents, you've been noticing what they gravitate toward and what they move away from. So you have some educated guesses, right? And you know how to set the scene for success, planning some snacks, the right shoes, the time of day that works best for your kids' rhythm. And you know that some ideas are going to flop, but it's data to use for the next activity. And when you make these plans with the kids, they have a say in it. They're more likely to be on board. So if you need help doing this, we can always talk on the phone, or you can join other parents who are figuring out how to set this trajectory for the family. One that is full of adventure and exploring, diving into interests and checking out curiosities. I'm excited for you. 2023 is going to be awesome. Reach out if you need help embracing this unschooling approach or overcoming any obstacles that are holding you back. And I'll be back again next week. Have fun. Happy unschooling.